had an abortion in May of 1987. I was a senior in high school. I was actually pregnant on prom. My high school sweetheart, who I swore that I would do terrible things to him if he ever told our secret. We both were working teenagers. We had the money to do it. There were no laws about getting parental permission. I had been accepted to Dillard University. I was the one who wasn't supposed to get pregnant. I knew to use a condom. We had been using condoms. We both were virgins. So I felt very safe with him. I thought, the whole pull-out method would work. The pull-out method didn't work. This particular time ended up with me pregnant. I was so ready to leave St. Louis. I did not want to be there. I had already planned my life out in New Orleans. I knew exactly what my goals were. I wanted to teach. I had been wanting to teach since I was in grade school. I didn't want anything stopping that. My decision to have an abortion was really about the shame that it would cause for me. It's been years ago, but it just goes to show you that the shit still be there. I had written about it in a blog some years ago. It was a secret I held for years. When I was diagnosed with having fibroids my freshman year while standing in the line to register at college for my courses, I started having severe pains and bleeding and went to the university doctor or whoever they were at the time, and they said that you have cysts the size of whatever they were at the time. They weren't the size of grapefruit, but they grew into that because I didn't want to have surgery, and I didn't want to have I wanted to do something naturally, and I definitely didn't want to have a hysterectomy. And the doctor just straight told me, well, if you want to have any children, I suggest you have some now. I'm like, it's my first, sir, it's my first day of registration to courses. For my classes, I have 4 years here. But once again, I was faced with another decision. If I ever want to have children, do I have children now, or do I wait and focus on my education and focus on this degree? I made the choice to stay, and I made the choice to not, of course, have a baby. I never got pregnant again. So I felt like the abortion connected to my not being able to have a child. And I carried it and carried it and carried it. Every OBGYN appointment, I lied. If ever they asked me if you've been pregnant, I lied. No, I have not been pregnant. No. There was so much shame around this abortion that it fed the cysts. It grew them. They got larger and larger. So at the same time, I'm not even admitting the shame after my 20s, 30s, 40s. Finally, in my 40s, I let go of the shame. And I did it in a blog, but I still was only able to do it because I was in California at this time where nobody knew me, and my blog wasn't so popular that somebody would even really care about me admitting. And my mom wasn't reading my blog, so I didn't even care because I knew she wouldn't see it. So it was still kind of, ducking and hiding in the shame, but getting it out on paper and releasing it and publishing it, but still not dealing with it head on. And then when I returned home after California, I did this group because my blog was called From Girls to Goddesses. So I did this group that focused on women and once again trying to deal with the shame. And even in admitting in that group, it didn't give me the satisfaction because when I finally admitted, they were like, girl, that's what you've been worried about? You know how many abortions people are having? You know how many? Oh my gosh, this person's had 2 or 3 abortions. This person. I had known about people having abortions, but that still didn't have anything to do with how I felt and what my shame was and what my reason was for having it. And the fact that I didn't let it go, which means that I had lived with it all my life, and it still causes some emotions for me right now. Can't let it go. So when you all sit around and you talk about abortions as if it's just some shit that I'm not speaking for people who use it for contraceptive, who use it as birth control. I mean, the sisters now are more free, and I commend y'all. I heard a video where a sister was saying that women in our age, we are jealous of them because they're more free and they can do this, and we walk around mad because we couldn't. It was like, I cringe cringe when you all do these competitive videos that deal with the age difference. Stop that shit. Stop it. The only issue I have with sisters of a certain age group now, no, you don't respect the legacy. There's a legacy. There's a line. There's legacy to this. You all don't honor the legacy. You step up in the game like you know everything about how it is to be free. You know, you're free with your body. You're not the first to do that. There were people even before you who did the same thing. Stop with the petty shit competitions. Give some type of respect for the people that paved the way for you to do it, sis. That's all. Nobody's hating. Well, there may be people hating, but I'm speaking for me personally. It's not a hating. It's can you just pay homage to the legacy? I go back. So yes, during my time, there was so much shame around it. And we look at the abortion. We don't look at the shame. We don't look at behind what's causing one to have an abortion. You think all of us were just sitting around thinking about killing our babies? And yeah, we were irresponsible. Yes, we didn't wear a condom. Yes, whatever the reason was, still being, we didn't feel safe enough within our village, in our community, to bring that child forth. We didn't feel like we would be supported enough. I can't speak for everybody. I'm telling you my story right now, okay? That's still not an excuse. I'm not here to ask for your excuse. Get that straight. That's first of all. I'm not here to ask shit of you. I'm only here as a 53-year-old woman with the mindset to know that if I can cry in 2022 over a decision I made in May of 1997, you can't tell me there's some sister right now that may even be contemplating ending her own life because there's so much shame. Not me, the parenting. I can't do it. Nobody's gonna support me. This man's not gonna support me. This whoever is, I don't have the support. I don't have the protection. I don't have whatever it takes that will bring forth a positive life for my child. So for those of you with all your finger pointing and your judgment, because I know we're all entitled to judge, I'm only speaking for the sisters who you feel like I can't do it because of shame. My only advice, let it go after it's done. Do not take that with you. Be free in your decision and let it go. So now here we are, 2022, and there are decisions about our bodies and about what we do and about this is a life. And I'm not making excuses because I had an abortion. I just don't like people, specifically men, talking about shit that y'all ain't really ready to have a real discussion about. You're not. It's just one more thing that you feel you can say that governs what we do. That's the part. It's that part. It's that if you're not in a position, y'all not even on a large scale representing fatherhood where women can feel confident as black women to even have babies and feel like we ain't got to tiptoe on, oh, I'm pregnant. I want to give respect to my high school sweetheart because honestly, I never knew how he felt. I knew that he loved me a lot. And I knew that we were friends. But the truth of it is, I really didn't care what he felt. I didn't care what he had to say. I didn't care. It was all about how I felt and what I wanted and what my image was and going away to school. And I didn't even think about how it might impact him. Going back to the young sisters now, make your decision. And if you are especially in a loving relationship and it's all about shame, just really sit with it because the shame never leaves. Even if nobody knows, you know, and he knows. It's a weight that you'll carry. I carried the weight with fibroids. I saw a naturopathic doctor in St. Louis. First doctor I ever admitted to. She was helping me with the with my anemia because the cysts were so bad. You know, when I had endometriosis in my 20s, but the cysts, the bleeding had gotten so bad that I was highly anemic. I would have to take a nap after work just to drive home. That's how anemic I was. A trip to the hospital, they were like, we can't let you out of here. So you're going to let me out of here. I'm not getting a blood transfusion. You're going to let me up out of this hospital. So once I left that hospital, I went to see Dr. Jamila to deal with the anemia. And I finally told her my story. And that's when she said, the abortion doesn't have anything to do with your fibroids. And that still didn't provide any relief. It didn't matter. It didn't matter because the shame was my shame. And no matter what anybody said, it was there. Somebody had a post, and even though it was a joke, it was like, ugh. It said something about childrenless women without children are either drunks or gay. I'm that childless auntie. I'm not gay and I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a sister who had an abortion, and because of the shame that I carried with that abortion, I created fibroid cysts within my body, because your body responds to the mind. And even though people had told me they have no connection, it didn't matter, because it was my shame, and my shame manifested in the very thing that I had created within my womb that causes me to shut it down and to form these cysts and to lock up and to knot up and to bleed. Everything about having a baby, femininity, my source of power, everything about being a woman, about being a wife, about being a lover. It wasn't until a trip to Belize that a sister in Belmopan massaged me. So I had heard about Mayan abdominal because I had even taken a self-care class, but only taken part of the course in Kansas City, which was a self-study course, which was the first part of the course, and the rest was in Belize. It was thousands of dollars, and really ready to give, thousands of dollars to take a trip to Belize to learn about the Mayan abdominal. I figured in due time. So finally, when I made it to Belize when I was 50, this sister who gives me this massage. And it's basically a Mayan abdominal massage. I still carry the shame of the fibroids, and maybe I held on to the fibroids because maybe it somehow was like carrying the baby that I chose not to bring forth. So maybe that letter A, the scarlet letter of A for the abortion was carried on my womb. It was carried. I carried it. I didn't let it go until that trip to Belize, when I told her I don't like my stomach touched. I have fibroid tumors. And all she said was, well, do you want to keep them? And then the second question was, do you believe in God? And she massaged and chanted and prayed and massaged and chanted and prayed and massaged and chanted and prayed. And when she was done, she said, they're gone. And I was like, But I didn't want to question it or second guess it, because I was like, man, maybe they are gone. But I used to have ultrasounds, time to check the size. And I was like, ooh, if you have fibroids, if you date anybody who's had fibroids, you can pretty much see. You can feel them. Where they went, all I can tell you, that when I turned 50, my first trip to Belize, the intent was to be free, to be in a total different country, affordable enough where I could be in the sun, where I had envisioned women being free with their bodies, where there was a loving place where you didn't have to deal with, just the harshness sometimes that comes with being a woman when you are in an urban environment. No place is perfect, but I don't feel the harshness of the environment. I don't feel like I gotta toughen up, although still learning to let it go, and I'm still learning to let go of the shame and to be free. If it's an abortion, you're carrying the scarlet A, and people make you feel some kind of way because they get on here and they make it about politics. They don't give a about feelings. They make it about politics. That is the issue I have with abortion. Y'all make it about politics. You have no intentions on taking care of nobody's kids, not even your own, many of you, and you want to talk about abortions. You want to add it to a political statement. It doesn't belong there. If you want to, judge us, cool. If you want to have it in religion, cool. If you want to have it in whatever you want to put it in, but take it out of politics. We can wear our A for you if it makes you feel better. If you need to put a letter A on my chest, and that was the other reason I did not like bringing it up, because whenever people see you as this epitome of whatever they deem is perfect, and you share one little thing with them that is a button for you or your shame, oh, you better believe they're going to work it. Because that gives them power. See, she not all that. I can feel better about myself. Oh, I thought she was something. Now see, at least I had my kids, girl. See, now I had to struggle. I had to do this, to do that. And you didn't have no kids, so you didn't have to struggle. So yeah, that's why you can do this and do that and do that. They start adding shit to it. I've had it happen to me. I've had sister friends of mine that throw their little side shit because they got pregnant too. They decided to have their baby and they didn't go off to school, or they didn't do certain things, or they can't travel, or whatever the case. And so you know what they do? Because they know your story now, they throw it up in your face. The whole purpose of the channel is to stand in your organic truth. That's my organic truth. And it ain't about pleasing you. It's about some young sister out there who now is in a situation where harm herself, go somewhere where she is harmed, Who knows? But y'all don't give a shit. Because for many of y'all, it's about shame, it's about petty jealousies, and you want to make a person feel bad, or it's about politics, it's about bullshit, because you ain't gonna do shit when the baby get here. Most of you. Don't even worry about what they saying. All I'm saying for you is to make the decision, and if you make it, whatever you decide to do, let it go right then. Do not carry it with you, because then you might as well just, if it's about shame and you're gonna carry shame, you might as well, hey, bring forth and let that shame be beautiful. Wow. Let that be your peace. You know what pisses me off the most, though? So many of you with children, you even take them for granted. So you brag about having them. Nobody can tell you shit if they don't have children, but yet you expect help and support. You don't care who it comes from. But if we have an opinion, we can't say shit because we don't have children. The other thing is, you all put secrets on babies because of your shame. You choose to have a child, and you've had children, but you're walking around in shame too. And then you use your children to cover up your shame. Don't tell this. Let this person know that. Don't let this person know this. This stays in our household. Don't talk about this. And now, that child who can't differentiate between what shame I tell and what shame is mine and what shame is adult and what shame is for the house and what shame I'm supposed to keep and what shame am I supposed to let go, somehow they end up in a situation where someone puts the burden of shame on them. And now they hold secrets. They don't tell you. There's the fear of shame. Everybody's walking around with shame and fear and living in secrecy. And the cycle repeats itself. Deal with your shit. If you're gonna sit around talking about that you had children and bragging about that you have them, and we can't tell y'all shit because we either got rid of ours or we don't have kids and we don't know what it's like and that, yeah. Well, if you have some, act like you fucking got some. I'm gonna end on that note. This has been Spine Shine Goddess. I am Sandra Roberts, the Sand Goddess. If you like this video, if you don't, thumbs up or thumbs down, share it, hit the notification button. I appreciate you watching. Be peace. But if you have to be war, be that too. Peace out, y'all.